Hi, my name is Nora Lucas. I'm starting my 6th year as a trustee of the Village of Mamaroneck. I'm a preservationist, I'm an architectural historian, so I've worked in state, local, and federal government all my professional life. And I was involved in the village early on as the chair of the Landmarks Committee, on the Mamaroneck Affordable Housing Board, which built the regatta, and then on the Flood Mitigation Committee. So I sort of have a bureaucratic background. And once I became a trustee, one of the biggest things we do is adopt a budget. And we have to make sure the budget is adhered to. It's a spending plan, and we have to stick with it. And when it needs to be amended, you have to move money from one thing to the other. You have to make a decision about whether you want to dip into the reserve fund. And so I took a lot of trainings with the controller. So I've, grown into being much more aware of a village budget than I ever was before. And I'm used to dealing with nonprofit budgets, but not necessarily a village budget, and it's a whole different form of accounting. So that's an area that I've really grown into, and that wasn't something I sort of anticipated doing, but I do, and it's our job, so I need to know about it. But I've embraced it. A lot of my early work, and still happens, I present to local boards of trustees or local town councils or local city governments or the local landmarks administration or the architectural review board about a specific building or a specific project. So when we hire consultants to do all kinds of review, I'm one of those consultants. I've been a consultant to a lot of different communities. So I'm also careful about consulting contracts because you want to make sure that the consultant is specific, has a work product delivery schedule, and you want to make sure that the contracts are, fair to the consultant, but good for a community, good for the village. So one of the things I'm really looking forward to is completing the comp plan update, where we have added a chapter on resiliency and sustainability, and we're beefing up the chapters on affordable housing and community character. The comp plan sets the tone for what we do. And if something's in the comp plan, it's an easier thing to accomplish in terms of rezoning and environmental review. If it's something that the village has anticipated, it's easier to change legislation to comply with and comport with the comp plan. So we're really teeing up to finish that soon, and I think it will help us be more flood resilient, or set the framework for it. It will help us figure out how to incorporate more fair and affordable housing into the community, because it's not necessarily a municipal government's job to build housing, and the village hasn't been that successful. We need to partner with nonprofit developers. We need to partner with the county for seed money for land, and then what we can do is change our zoning to require affordable housing, and that's something I've been proposing for a while. So the village of Mamaroneck is downstream, so there's a limit to what we can do to prevent flooding because we receive water from upstream communities. So I think working with the county, and we're trying to work with Harrison, but Harrison's just a little bit upstream. There are communities that are further upstream. Maybe stopping the water or slowing the water further upstream will be helpful too. So the Army Corps plan is one thing that will help us open the floodgates down here and get the water out faster, but we also need to figure out how to slow it down when we're getting those tremendous storms. We're asked to make decisions all the time, and we think we're making the right decision, but sometimes it's inside baseball. So I think that the more residents will vote, voting is important, knowing who they're voting for is important. And the way to do that is to be a little bit more aware of meetings. I do think that the more people are aware of some aspect of government, the better off we are, because the more input we get, the better decisions we can make. And we think we're making the right decision, but we may make a decision and then after the fact find, well, no, we really missed the mark on that. So come to meetings. It's important for people to be volunteering, to see our village can't work without the volunteers. So I hope that my goal is that we have more public participation with by the people who've been doing it for years and by new people, and that the board meetings are a little less contentious, so people are happy to be in the audience.